Okay, the bats. Let's get into Rodney's talk here and go with the bats. What do you think about the idea of regulation of bats?
Well, I wouldn't hit off the square. I've had a smaller bat, so I've got to... Well, I don't know. The bats can't change that much because didn't some guy called Trott hit it over the pavilion 150 years ago? Just throwing a bit of a curveball in there.
No, he did. It's a fair point.
I don't know. From my experience of a cricket bat now to when I first started, the middle hasn't changed. It goes the same distance if you hit it out of the middle with the first bat I ever had and the bat I've got now. But the middle has got bigger, so that is the difference. The middle won't go any further. It's just got a bigger sweet spot because you have bigger edges, bigger bats. I don't think we need to limit it because I think people love seeing the ball going out the ground.
But Rodney makes a very valid point about thick edges disappearing over the boundary. That can't be right.
Well, it doesn't happen that often. It happens occasionally. You know, the boundaries come in a bit more. You know, the oval considerably. Certainly in the English ground, one of the biggest grounds 20 years ago. Now with health and safety and this new stands, it has got smaller. Guys have probably got stronger. I'm a big believer in the guys have got stronger, and I think everyone's mind has been open to what is possible with a bat in your hand now than what it was 20 years ago due to 2020 cricket. Okay. No one thought you could hit the ball over the keeper's head for six. No one thought you could sweep Dale Steyn. No one thought you could reverse hit over mid-on.
But they're more touch shots than power shots.
Well, reverse hitting over mid-on is not a touch shot.
No, that one. But that doesn't happen often.
No, it doesn't. But I just generally think the game has expanded due to 2020, and things which were deemed impossible because they were never tried, and it should be embraced. People want to see that, so I don't think limiting bats, in my opinion, would help that. I think people want to see the ball go further.
You were a touch player, but you use the modern bat. Is there a need for change?
I don't think so. I mean, we need to improve. We need to evolve as well with technology, and if that helps, I think it's good as long as there are restrictions. But I totally agree with the ball, where you let the ball evolve naturally as well. I don't know about the tampering. I mean, if the guys are skillful to get it done, so be it. But the bowlers also need some...
What do you mean? Explain that. If the guys are skillful to get it done.
Well...
So you're saying tamper with the ball is... you can tamper with the ball.
Not in that way, where you can hit the ball on the rough patches while you're throwing the ball. And if a unit knows exactly how to do that on one side, they'll get the ball scuffed up. You don't have to use your nails or anything like that to get it done. But give them that advantage, because that's the beauty of the game as well. Because now with the two new balls, you've taken the reverse swing completely away from the game, which I thought that was a fascinating art. That was skill. Just because the ball is scuffed, that doesn't mean that you can bowl reverse swing.
I can't reverse swing a ball.
You can't?
I can't reverse swing a ball. So you need skill. I'm basically saying you need skill to be able to do it.
So if the batsmen are given better bats and then they still do things which no one thought that, like Cookie said, reverse sweep over mid-on, give the bowlers a bit of ammunition as well. Not illegally, but legally. By taking out the ball with the two new balls, you've taken the reverse swing out. You've taken the spinners out of the game as well, unless you're a very good...
But this is the one-day game specifically you're talking about here.
Yes. But
what about in test matches?
I think the test matches, it's good, isn't it? I mean, the new ball bowlers, they get wickets, and once the ball gets older, the guys start reverse swing. That's still there, and that's why it's interesting.
So all you're advocating is going back in one-day cricket to one new ball, not two?
Yeah, definitely.
Does that sound right?
Not for me. No, I still think two new balls, but let them do what they want with them.
And when you say do what they want, do you literally mean scratch the ball? So in other words, use your fingernails,
rub it on the ground,
but not have a penknife in your pocket?
No.
So no outside agent?
No outside agent.
Other than that, pick the seam?
Pick the seam if you want. I mean,
I
trouble
agree.
is, these guys are batsmen.
I agree.
These guys are batsmen. And, I mean, the game was invented for batsmen.
Bill Ali always used to say, if you pick the seam and don't take 6 foot, I'll report you.
You'll be suspended for a lifetime.
The only thing I can back this up with the fact that Rod hasn't changed his tune over 15 years or so. Rod was my first academy director when I first joined the England Academy at I think a 20-year-old, I think I was first on.
Wet behind the ears.
Very wet behind the ears, definitely, just out of private school, that kind of stuff. But Rod, I was in the academy, I think Simon Jones was there, Steve Harmson, Ricky Clark, I'm trying to think of some, Saj Mahmood, and we had an open net, so at Loughborough, indoor open net, so only 5 or 6 lanes. Anyone knows facing anyone indoors was quick, certainly as a 20-year-old, and he gave these guys a brand new ball on one side and totally scuffed the other side up. I did not hit a ball for a week. I could not hit it, and we did a whole week of practice. It was just unplayable, frighteningly quick, obviously because a bouncer indoors was right, and I did not get a bat. I got called up to go to Pakistan. I don't know if Rod remembers, I got called up to go to Pakistan as a replacement, and I said to the assistant coach, can I please just have 20 underarms before I go on the plane, because I haven't hit a ball for a week. I need to know what it feels like. Rod won't know that because I did it when he wasn't looking.
Are you sure it was Pakistan?
Yeah, Pakistan was. I didn't play against Pakistan, but that was.
You've got to be careful to mention underarms here. Jeff Thompson, first time you saw him. A and B, 74.5. Do you ever feel sorry for an English batsman?
Turn it up. You're kidding me, aren't you?
Well, no helmets, no arm guards. I doubt they were meant.
I felt a bit sorry for Keith Fletcher because in Sydney, Dennis had been bounced by Greggy, I think, and Fletch stupidly came in and said, getting a bit of your own back now, Dennis, aren't you? Well, Dennis looked at him as if to say, mate, you just wait till you walk out to bat, and you knew they were going to almost kill him, and they almost did, because he got hit between the eyes, and the ball actually flew to cover.
Ross Edwards
caught it.
30 metres away.
Yeah, 30 metres away. And I think most of us appealed as well.
Who's bowled? Who's the quickest? What's the quickest spell you've ever faced?
It's a really. I don't know the answer. The quickest ball I ever faced was Sean Tate at a warm-up game against South Australia, which in 2006. And I was sitting next to Straussy, and we had 3 or 4 overs to go. We hadn't seen Sean bowl before, and he slung them down about 98 miles an hour. His first ball hit, first slip, first bounce, like just missed it by miles. And Straussy and I looked at each other and I was like, oh my God. Next one swung perfectly, hit Straussy straight on the boot, and he was out LBW, and he had to walk off. You know how your foot is totally destroyed, you get hit on the so he's like, I'm not showing no pain, he was limping off over. And that was the quickest 3 overs I've faced as just a 3-over spell. Mitchell Johnson over a long period of time.
I was going to say, through the air, the ball in Adelaide that knocked you over was
so
sharp.
that quickest spell, that was the quickest over a 2-month period, was Mitchell Johnson.
And you?
Brett Lee at Perth was a 1-day game, thankfully, so he didn't have a longer spell. So I remember the wicketkeeper jumping up, he couldn't even get them. There were a couple of byes which flew over. It was really quick. And then Shoaib Akhtar. But in Dubai, the fastest ball I've ever faced off him was a short run-up, because he was that tired. He came out, he went, turned around after 5 feet and just came and just bowled. I thought, I could actually get him, and that flew that quick. So I knew that it had nothing to do with his run-up.
What will they do with their handout to make sure people want to come along and watch Test match cricket? That is the burning question.